Hey guys, welcome back to another AFL fantasy video. In today's one, we'll be looking at my changes I've made since my January team to now my February team, and I'll be going through my reasoning and strategy behind it. Before we get into this one, I'd just like to say thanks for everyone for all the support on my open league that I made. I've almost got around 60 to 70 entries so far, I think, so if we can get that into 100, I'll be doing some prizes for the few winners. So let's get into the video. Alright, so let's get into the defenders. Jake Lloyd, D1, lock him in. He'll be the highest scoring defender this year, I think. So I've got him at D1. D2, Witherden. Looking for a bit of value with him. I think that with the points he's going to gain from the kick-ins, plus just how it's his third year, so he's bound to score more. So plus those two things together, he'll definitely be a top 6 defender and a very good selection in my opinion. Nick Newman, D3. Now, I've had a few other players rolling around in this position. I've had Luke Ryan, I've had Brodie Smith, and a few others through there. But at this stage, I've gone with Nick Newman. I think that he can be a top 6 defender if he really gets a good role at the Blues. So hopefully throughout the JLT shows us what he can do. And yeah, I've got him there at this stage. D4, Williams, hasn't changed. I think he's a must-have. Then I've got Collins, Hoare, Goddard and Burgess. Now, the only changes I've done since my January team in the back line, I've gone Laird, I've got him out. I don't think he's a must-have. He's probably priced at his maximum he can go this year, so I don't think he'll average any more. I think if anything, he's going to lose points due to Adelaide Crows. They'll probably go for the longer option coming out of the back line instead of short chip kicks with Laird sitting in the pocket getting the easy +6s he does. So I've gone Laird down to Witherden, and then I've gone a rookie up to Nick Newman. So I've got only 2 rookies in the back line. I think that's a structure you need down there because there aren't too many rookies in the back line, whereas there are in the midfield and forward line this year. So let's get into the midfield. M1, I got Cripper. I think he's going to be possibly even the highest scoring midfielder. Now, I think McRae probably will still have that number 1 spot, but I think Cripps can take his game to another level this year. The reason I didn't choose McRae in this team is because he's priced at 122. Realistically, I don't really see him lifting that at all. So I think he'll probably go around the 120 again. So he's not really any value. So I'm not going to pick him. So I've gone Cripps at M1, Matt Crouch at M2. That has changed. So I didn't have Crouch. I think Crouch will be really consistent. M2, I think he'll be probably Crouch and Merritt. They're very underpriced, and I think they'll probably be in the top 5 midfielders this year. Then I've got at M5 Redden. Interesting one. I'm tossing up between Redden and Adams for the M5 spot, but at this stage I've got Redden. He's owned by only 2 to 3% of teams, so he's a point of difference there. And he also, after the first 5 rounds last year, he averaged 109. The first 5 rounds, the West Coast was sort of just throwing him around in different positions, and he didn't really find any consistency. But after round 5, he averaged 109, and if he does that again this year, I think he will be a top 8 midfielder. So at his price, and also owned by only 2% of the competition, I think he's a real nice pick there. Brad Crouch, Hanbury and Miles, 3 mid prices. I don't know how long they're going to last in my team. Usually I just revert back to guns and rookies before the season starts, but at this stage I've got Crouch, Hanbury and Miles all in there. Miles and Hanbury are swapping around with Liver every day, but at this stage they're just ahead of him in my opinion. Walsh, Hind and Bewley on the bench. I think you have to have Walsh starting on your ground. I possibly might have 2 rookies. I've only got 1 rookie in the midfield at the minute, so I'm going pretty mid-price heavy at the moment. But the changes I've done since my January team, I've gone McRae down to Matt Crouch, then I've gone Adams to Redden, and then I've gone 2 of the rookies up to Hanbury and Miles. So then I've got in the rucks here, Grundy, 110, I reckon he's 120. I think he'll get that every week, and he's going to be my probably number 1 captaincy option. this year, so I've locked him in there. Then I've got Timmy English. I've got a little plan with him. If he fails after the first 3 rounds, I can just trade him to Mumford. So, but I don't think he will. I think he'll average around 80 to 90, so it'll be a nice value selection at R2. Then I've got Fort and Cameron on the bench. The only thing I changed with the rucks was Steph down to English. Then in the forward line, I've got Dangerfield. I think he'll be the top scoring forward, and he's also underpriced by about 10 points. So he's pretty much a must-have. F2, we've got Dunkley. I think he'll be another top 6 forward. I've talked about him with his role. There's speculation that he'll have a role change, but I don't see it happening. I think he's in the top 3 midfielders at the Dogs, so I doubt that he'll be having a role change. So I think he can average between 105 and 110 this year, which will put him in the top 2 or 3 forwards. So I think he's also a must-have. Then I've got Wingard at F3. Now this has also been changing. I've had Warple in there at times. I've had Billings. I've had Tim Kelly. I've had lots of different players around Wingard's price in there. But I've got him at the moment. There's been rumours about he's still not recovering. He's had a calf issue. So if that does keep affecting him, and he's looking like he's not going to play JLT, I don't know if I'll pick him, but he's in there at this stage, so yeah, that's that. Setterfield, I've got there at F4. He's a must-have at this stage. Then I've got Kavara and Corbett. So those 3 down there, I think there's lots of depth with the forward rookies, so you can play 3 on the field, I think. Then you got Young and Parker on the bench, and I don't even have McAdam, and there's some other forward rookies down there. So there's a lot of them this year, as well as the midfield rookies. But down back, we're running pretty thin. So the changes I've gone with the forward line since my January team was I went a rookie, Warple down to a rookie. That's the only change I did. Alright, so now I'll have a photo of the 2 teams side by side, so you can see for yourself the changes I've made. So at this stage with the strategy, so I've gone with Lloyd, Cripps, Grundy and Danger as the sort of big dogs, which is what I had last time, but I did have paid up for McRae and Laird, which I haven't now. And as you can see there, I've gone with Witherden and Newman as the sort of value picks in the back line. I think they'll be top 6 defenders. Then I've gone in the midfield, Crouch, Merritt, Redden. I think they're the value picks, and they'll be top 6 midfielders. Then I've got English, value at R2 again. And then I've got in the forward line behind Dangerfield, I've got Dunkley and Wingard, who are also value and possibly top 6 forwards. So, yeah, that's what I've gone with at this stage. That's my reasoning behind it. Leave a comment down below your thoughts on it, and I'll reply to them. And, yeah, send me your teams if you want to get them reviewed. I'll be doing a video next couple days. And one last thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I have seen that 93% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like on the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.